May I also take this special opportunity and singular honor to introduce and welcome Stabex Uganda. Stabex has put all the initiatives required for this engagement of today, and we have been working with Piaka all through. Thank you so much, Stabex, for making it possible for us to engage. Allow me now to take this opportunity to welcome the Stabex director to come and also address us briefly so we hear what Stabex is doing.
The Speaker of the East African Parliament, the East African Legislative Assembly, our brother Honorable Kakok from Kenya, is an ardent supporter of the private sector everywhere you go. And all the guests available here, and those that have not made it possible here, I want to thank you for coming. It's such an honor to speak before the frontliners of trying to get Africa and trying to get our region working. I think our region has not been working for quite some time, and I don't know whether this is an opportunity for me to put up the challenges you're facing, or to inform you, or to lecture you. But since I'm speaking, we shall see what goes where, and you will allocate it, because I'm talking to the engine of the region. I'm speaking on behalf of many people who have not managed to make it here, and we have very many challenges. But I will first begin by introducing Stabex International to you. Stabex International is an oil and marketing company that was locally registered here in Uganda in 2009. And we have over 150 stations currently in Uganda. With those 150 stations, we are now ranked the second in Uganda in terms of volume and turnover. In bulk purchases at the pipeline, I prefer to call it the East African pipeline of Kenya, because I believe in the East African arrangement. We are number 4 in terms of volumes that we purchase at the pipeline. So we are the fastest growing company, and we have plans to spread across Africa. Right now we're in DRC Congo, and we've just entered into Congo from the eastern part, and then we are of course in Kenya, Tanzania we are coming very soon, and Rwanda hopefully will be there also in a very short time. Now we have challenges as a business community. So many, we would take the whole night and day here, although I plan to speak for 10 minutes. The biggest challenge now, we will only zero down on one challenge, that is the crossing of our product through the border, mainly Malaba, Busia. It's a nightmare. It has been a nightmare, I think, for the past 50 years. In spite of all these wonderful steps we have taken as an East African community. For example, we now have one-stop center in terms of your tax payment. Now, when we in the petroleum industry pay our taxes, even before we load, we pay our taxes. And once the product is loaded from Eldoret or Nairobi or Mombasa, any of the ports, surprisingly, just because of a piece of paper that is supposed to be issued to one of the clearing boys here to take it to the to the immigration officers or to the revenue officers, our trucks can line up for over 2 days there. First of all, it is inhuman to keep a driver under normal circumstances, under the heat, sitting in the car. No toilet facilities around, no first aid facilities. For over 50 years, it has been a norm. Sometimes you get them parked across almost 80 kilometers into Kenya, another 20 kilometers into Uganda, and for 50 years plus, it has been going on. And when I look through our history, the East African Federation used to work very well when the colonialists were here. Do you know why? Because it was working for them. It was the solution for growth. When the colonialists were here, it was one block. We had the East African Railway to help them carry all the cotton they wanted, all the tea, the coffee they wanted. So it was working for them. So when we began fighting for independence, these guys surrendered, of course, territory, and then that is when they introduced borders, when they were exiting. So after them exiting and leaving for us borders, we have jealously guarded that death trap that they left for us behind. So we have glorified the borders, we have kept the borders, we have learned everything about history, but we have never learned why these people left us borders. They left us borders to keep us stagnant and never to grow again. If we ever want to be East Africans, if we ever want to do away with any of the barriers that are affecting the trade in East Africa, just do away with what they call a border. We can identify ourselves in very, very better ways. And when they went back to Europe, they created the European Union and all those. Even America that came late ended up creating NATO today, that is distributing all sorts of policies upon us, and we are following. Very simple. We are seeing all these things happening, but we are still stuck with respecting our borders. Imagine a driver who has submitted all his documents and his company is registered under EALA, still has to get off his truck and go and stamp his passport, or he uses ID, stamp and make sure he crosses. And yet what he's driving is well documented in terms of paying taxes. His truck has paid taxes, has been identified by EALA on both sides. The goods that is carrying have been verified, and everybody knows he's going to Uganda. But still, our wonderful people think that the truck can move alone without a driver. They still want to see the driver physically over here. And then the driver has to come almost 2-3 times a week with product from the pipeline. So why do we make our people suffer with some of these things? And yet we have all these technologies, AI, we can even have a chip, just one chip on the trailer with a scanner, and it will capture all the details that you want without even anybody coming out, without even moving out with a single paper to issue to a customs officer, so that the truck can cross. Because you have paid taxes, you have verified everything, there is a way bridge from Mombasa to here. Why do you again keep people on the line just to issue a paper so that it can be taken to the customs and say this person has crossed with a paper? 50 years down the road, people have gone cashless, have gone paperless. We are still 50 years down the road with a single paper. After paying all the taxes, all the verification, a paper is still needed to be torn, given, and remain a copy. Take 3 days for a truck to cross. So I will not dwell on very many of those issues. I just wanted to dwell on that one. If that one is solved, you will not believe the amount of ease that we shall have trade. We shall improve. Services will be here. Even some of these prices of this fuel go up because of the mileage you have to give the driver. You have to give the driver double mileage. He has to be on the road. Imagine from Eldoret to Kampala here can only take us 10 hours at most. But the driver will have to take 2 days or 3 days. So you have to give him extra mileage. Where do you put all that expense? On the consumer. So you find that all this high prices, all these inconveniences we have on our local people, just because of the border crossing. All goods, let it be clothes, let it be the raw materials for making the cooking oil for Mukwano. I believe you also have that challenge. Everything the people of Uganda Bati, your product to reach your factory has to do with time frame. So once that time frame issue is managed at the border, you won't believe how many things it would have solved. And I want to thank the East African Legislative Assembly, my brother, as I wind up. You are doing a great job. It is not easy what people are doing. It's not easy for you even to assemble. It's even a miracle that you are assembling under this current hostile environment that these people that once colonized us don't want to ever see or ever hear about something called the East African Legislative Assembly. That's the fact of the matter. They don't even want to hear about it. They will fund HIV/AIDS programs. They will fund our youth to go and discuss, I don't know which brand of democracy, but they will never fund East African Legislative Assembly. I don't know if they're funding you. If they're funding you, then they're funding you bitterly. They will never fund that one because it is the solution to our problems internally. So as you are there, know that we are praying for you. We know it is a difficult job. It is a very difficult job. And even me seeing people coming here, sitting here, you are really heroes. I salute you people because it's not easy. It's not easy. They will never support you because they know the unity of East Africa is the solution to our growth and development. We will never need anyone, just our market alone of East Africa here. I think it's 10 times bigger than the European market. We don't even need to take even a single seed outside. We just trade here, Mumias, Kenya, here, just trading within ourselves alone. We will never need anything else. So support our local companies and let us grow them. Let us create capacity within them. Let us be ambassadors of the East African Legislative Assembly because I believe in it and I know there will be a solution one day that will come out of you people and we shall stand strong as a region. Thank you so much, our senior Sababuturo, for your great words. We salute each and every one of you and may God bless you. Thank you.
The Speaker has another engagement. We ask him to come and do a little feedback, but also to assure you that the Assembly is very committed to doing a lot of the things.
Honorable members and colleagues, the stakeholders, and when they will tell us, you EALA, thank you, we had been spending 2 or 3 days at the border, now it's 1 day. We will be proud of ourselves when East Africans will tell us we have been paying our ticket from Bujumbura to Arusha $2,000. Now we are paying a cheaper ticket. Thank you so much. Have a good evening.